Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mortuary. I am the Mortician, and today I'm going to do something a little bit simple, just basically because I want to slowly ease myself back into video making, because I've been gone for such a long time, and once again I apologize. You guys know that I don't like to do that, but you know, there's extenuating circumstances in my case. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys how to clean your vinyl records. And then go over some of the ways that you can clean them and what I think about each. And then I'm going to show you guys how to clean, how I clean my needles. So, the record we have here, because I'm sure someone's going to ask, is Blue Oyster Cult's On Your Feet or On Your Knees. I actually picked this up for $1 at the flea market. So it's pretty dirty. I already cleaned this side in one take, so we're just going to flip it over here. So yeah, all you're going to do is you're going to need distilled water. Distilled water is pretty cheap, but if you can't find it, there's nothing too wrong with using tap water. A lot of people don't like to use tap water though, because there is a problem with buildup. So if you absolutely have to, you can use tap water, but if you have the option, please use distilled water. You're going to need a microfiber cloth, one to go underneath the record to keep the table from scratching it, and one to actually move the water around and actually clean the top of the record. So, you're also going to need a bottle. You do not want to, obviously you don't want to pour like distilled water or anything on these records. So I have this, which is from an old perfume bottle. This, not my perfume. I think it was my grandmother's or my mother's. And I just snatched it because they were going to throw it out. And this mists, which this is what you want. See, a nice mist. That's what you want. I also bought this from the Dollar Tree. This holds a lot more. I don't want to use this for the video because it's obviously huge. But it has a range here. It does mist, although it's a little bit more intense. But yeah, you're just going to need a water bottle of any type, so you can get them pretty cheap, as well as these microfiber cloths. So all you're going to do, this is very simple. You're just going to go over, just like this. You can go either way. You don't have to follow the grooves, you know, how a record would play. You can go either way, and I recommend folding it this way. There are some people who might just want to do this. I feel like that's the wrong way to do it, because your fingertips are a little bit harder compared to the microfiber cloth. So you fold it up like this to kind of give yourself a little bit of a cushion and just go over it. Just like so. It's very, very simple. You can actually do this if you want to. Notice how I'm not really pressing down. I'm very gently going over it. You don't want to press down because obviously you risk damaging the grooves. So you can just very gently do one of these. Just go over. Like I say, you can go either way, whichever way is more comfortable. If you think you can get a better clean by going both ways, then you do that. Now, this is just for if you buy records, say from, like I said, the flea market, or you're in a record store and they come out like dirty, like there's dirt and fingerprints and stuff. This is a good way to get rid of that stuff. But you shouldn't clean your records like this all the time. Not because it's bad to, because I mean there's nothing wrong with doing this every time you want to play a record, but it's not really worth it. So you just get one of these. Once again, I bought this from the Dollar Tree. This is for eyeglasses. So if you want to clean the dust off your record, this one's filthy, by the way, so I'm going to have to do another pass, but you just want to, once again, folding it over on itself, pass over very gently, just like so, and you want to pass, you know, the dust through the grooves there. Once again, this is not the one I use for cleaning records, which is why it's covered in dust. The one I use is actually over by my record player. There we go. Now, there are several ways you can clean your records. There are professional record cleaners, where you basically put the record into some kind of machine and you crank it around in like soapy water. Those, you can do that. There's no point, because I think it's a little more, it's expensive, and I don't imagine it doing that much better of a job than this, especially considering with this, you can actually like loosen up, you're loosening up the dirt, and you're actually like, you can put pressure on if you feel like there's not enough dirt, whereas like a record cleaner like that, you're kind of like hoping that the soapy water is just going to wash it all away. There's also other methods that use like mixtures. You can there was some guy I watched on YouTube who made a mixture, and I've used this mixture. It was jet dry, alcohol, and distilled water. I stopped using it personally. And the reason that I stopped using it was because it was actually leaving gunk on my needles. So I would clean them, and then it would play, and there'd be a wad of like gunk about this big on my needle. I'd have to clean the needle every single play. And overall, I didn't like it. Maybe I made it wrong, because I'm not knocking the guy, because if he's been doing that for all those years, because he said he'd been doing it for a long, long time, then it's probably something wrong that I did, but I won't go back to using that simply because I can, in fact, mess it up. Now, there's also another way which takes forever, and I mean forever. It takes like 24 to 40 hours to do this, and that is using wood glue. I don't know how popular of a method the wood glue method is. Just making sure it's still recording. But basically the idea is that you cover a record with wood glue, so you put it on the record player. And while it's playing, you basically just drizzle wood glue from the outer edge in. You drizzle around like that, and then you take like some kind of card or whatever and smooth it over. You gotta let that dry, and that's gonna take a while. And the reason that I wouldn't do this, not only does it take a long time, but you run the risk of like not getting it all in one piece, which if that happens and there's like wood glue stuck in the grooves, that's like, that you might as well not even bother, in my opinion. Maybe for like an absolutely filthy, disgusting record that like even doing this or like a professional cleaner will do won't work, then try that as like a very last resort. But other than that, I wouldn't go that route, because it's just all in all not worth it. Another tip, when done cleaning your records, this is the original thing this came in. You typically want to change these out after cleaning. And the reason why is because there will probably be, well, the original dust that was in there on your records to begin with. So typically you want to clean those out if you can. So I recommend doing that if you can. I don't have any spares around right now. So the next thing I'm going to show you, this is a very simple process. This is way easier than people might make you believe. Now, cleaning your needle is very sensitive. Yes, you do not want to use a lot of force in doing this. A lot of people use really, really soft brushes. However, I simply just use a toothbrush. Some people might say the bristles are too hard or whatever, but that's the way I've been doing it since I've had record players, and all my record players are fine, except these, obviously. These are born to fail, but I've been using it on my LP60 since I've had it. So basically, you never, ever want to go back and forth. Ever. Never, ever, ever, ever go back and forth. All you want to do is come from the back, so pick up your needle, like so. Come from the back, very lightly, like this, okay? Very, very lightly. And here's why. This is actually the reason I picked this record player as opposed to my LP60. I can take this off really easily. You see here? If you were to go this way, you run the risk of possibly breaking this part off. And you obviously don't want to do that. You don't want to really mess it up by catching it too and messing with the height of it, because these are like, obviously these are set to a point where they'll sound the best. So you don't want to do one of these. You want to go back like this, very gently. And two, the way the needle is pointed as well is the reason why you don't want to do that. Very simple process. It takes almost no time. Just remember, just like with anything, all you have to do is just be gentle. you don't want to do one of these. Like, there's no point in using that much pressure. Just like this. Back to front, very little pressure. If there's a lot of gunk on here, you can even do this. I've done this several times with the aforementioned mixture. Spritz a little on there, just a little. Just like that. Right? Not too hard. So, thank you guys for watching. Mortician, peace out. But before I go and sign off, please tell me how you clean your records. Have you used any of these methods? If you have you had any success? And what is your favorite vinyl record? Thank you very much for watching. Peace out.